More PS3 Classic Hits, Part 2, the rest of the alphabet. Need for Speed Carbon. This was a PS triple launch game, and it's the best Need for Speed on the system, in my opinion. I got all these other ones too, so I know what I'm talking about. Need for Speed Shift was actually the first time I ever fell for false advertising, if I remember correctly. The commercial made it look like the most intense racing game ever made.
Need for Speed Shift.
And then you play it for real and it's like... Anyway, Carbon's my favorite because it's basically Most Wanted 2. It continues the story, it has some of the same characters, it has the world famous BMW M3 GTR, some of the best car customization, the best drifting that's ever been in the series, never to be replicated ever again. They don't make them like this anymore. I did like Need for Speed Heat. Now this is a real gamer's game, Nier. This is a real gamer's game right here. I played this after Nier Automata, and I like the story in this better. There's a remaster, remake kind of thing with new gameplay, because people said the gameplay in this was really bad. I didn't think it was as bad as some people think it is. I do have the remaster, but there's enough differences between both versions for me to keep the old one. For example, the different main character. The Ninja Gaiden series, some of the best action games around ever. I wish Team Ninja would make a new one, but they're too busy trying to chase From Software, which does seem to be working out for them a little bit. I'm very disappointed with that Master Collection they put out. They went out of their way, they pulled out all the stops to make sure it was not the definitive version. It's like they wanted the game to bomb on purpose so they could say, haha, look, no one wants these games back. They have nice manuals. Wow. Wow, how nice. Even Ninja Gaiden 3 has one. Half of it's in French. I don't speak French. They sure did release a lot of these, didn't they? This isn't even all of them. This one kinda stinks. The rest of them are nice. My favorite era was the PS2 games, when Ratchet was calling people retards and nerds.
Nerd. I like him.
When they finally make a new one, in 5 years from now, it should be Ratchet's Bad Fur Day. He's washed up and pissed off, but there's a new bad guy, and Ratchet's the only one who can stop him. The Resistance series, these were so good back in the day. I talked about Killzone before. I like Killzone. Fuck Killzone, that shit sucks. These were the real PS3 exclusive shooters. Another Insomniac series like Ratchet & Clank, they were firing on all cylinders during the PS3. And they still are kinda. I mean, they got 2.5 games out this generation, and every other PlayStation studio, they don't have shit. Naughty Dog used to be the best, but they fell the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. I mean, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. This is a Sonic game. There's some great Sonic games here. Dynamite Headdy, that's a good Sonic game. Shining Force 2, that's a good one. Kid Chameleon, fucking sucks. 9 bonus Master System and arcade Sonic games. I like Fantasy Zone and Space Harrier, thank you Yakuza. This was one of the first PS3 games I got back in '09, and I thought there was going to be so many more collections than this, like there were on the PS2, but this is one of the only ones on the system. I know you can play all of these and more on emulators. In fact, I do, look at me, ha ha ha. But I still like these retro collections. They're good. Sengoku Basara, Samurai Heroes, also on Nintendo Wii. This is very similar to the Dynasty Warriors series, but this one's made by Capcom, so it's better. It has a higher production value, it has more fluid combat, in my opinion. Hidden gem? Shadows of the Dam, this is a badass game from cool developers, Grasshopper Manufacture. The story of this game's development's pretty interesting. It was supposed to be a lot more unique, but Suda51 and Shinji Mikami teamed up with EA, Electronic Arts, more like Electronic Farts. And EA was like, yo Shinji, you made Resident Evil 4, right? Wow, what an honor. Hey Suda, you made that crazy Wii game with the jerk-off sword? So wacky. Put them together, it'd be one hell of a trip. So that's what they made. Wacky Resident Evil 4 with jokes.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, Shawik!
Now that is a big boner.
And you know what? It was pretty good. There's a hella remastered version coming out this year, so stay tuned for that. The Skate series. I haven't played the first one that much, but I played the hell out of 2 and 3. I put some high miles on these games. You can tell by how clean the cases are. Oh, so beautiful. I was a big Tony Hawk boy on the PS2, and I still am, but Tony Hawk fell off big time during this generation. This game was almost good. Skate 1 and 3 are backwards compatible on the Xbox, along with some other games I've talked about, and they run way better on there. If you're still playing these on a PS3, you're an idiot. I'm an idiot. Fuck.
Is gap out and hit that rail.
Steins Gate. This is the first visual novel I ever played, and I had no idea what I was getting into. I just heard it was good. I didn't know that it was actually reading for 50 hours.
Oi.
With minimal gameplay, consisting of select words on a phone. Doesn't that sound like a good game to you? It was really good. I liked it. It's a great story. It's better than the anime. The game came out first. It has a better art style. There's more time for details. It has multiple endings. I know the roots. I know the roots. I know the roots. Also, the remake sucks because it's based on the anime. What the hell? I'm sorry for the snobbery, but that's just how it is. Read this. Bonus Zone PS1 games. Did you know every PS3 model can play PS1 games from the discs? Some people don't for some reason. They only remove PS2 compatibility. That's about it, really. Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2. These are excellent JRPGs, released very late in the PS3's life. The graphics are low budget as hell, but the story is the most ambitious thing in gaming. This series is crazy. There's like 12 games, over 20 years, with a long continuous running story about countries and people and war and politics and crazy ass shit. And it's all connected. All the games are pretty long. Cold Steel 4 is too damn long, and I don't know when I'm ever gonna go back to it. I don't even know if I like this series anymore. I have the next game, I haven't even opened it yet. I think I might be getting too old for this shit. I think I might be getting too old for long anime RPGs about saving the world. I just wanted to record my playtime, but I ended up getting back into Cold Steel 4, and it turns out I do still like the series.
Oh my goodness!
It's still too damn long, but I didn't play 9 games to not see where the story ends. I just needed to take a pretty long break, and luckily there's a story backlog that tells me about all the stuff I forgot. So it wasn't impossible to get back into, and I got back into it alright, unfortunately, but it's been nice seeing all my old friends back in action.
Nice! It's a whopper!
Great series, highly recommended if you have a bunch of time that you can just throw into a fucking dumpster. I wouldn't play the PS3 versions these days. They're fine, but the PC and PS4 ports have a fast forward mode that vastly improves the game. It's a total game changer. You need that fast forward mode. Yakuza 3 and 4, So back when Yakuza 0 came out on PS4, Sega reprinted the first 4 Yakuza games, and I went a bit crazy and bought every single one of them. These days people play Yakuza 3 right after Kiwami 2, and they go, oh man, this game's old. Fuck. Well, I went from 0 to 1 on the PS2, and I was like, oh man, this game's old. But 2 was a huge leap over 1, and 3 was a leap over 2. I like 3 a lot. This box art's horrendous, by the way. And the combat in 3, it's good. Oh, the enemies, they block too much. Have you tried getting behind them? Yakuza 3 is so hard, oh my god! At one point this was the cheapest Yakuza game. Now it's the most expensive one. Go figure. This game bombed so hard it almost killed the series outside of Japan, and they are not going to re-release it. My only problem with this is that it runs so bad when there's a lot of zombies. Besides that, it's as much of a Yakuza game as any other one. You roam around Kamurocho, there's still the iconic mini-games, there's funny sub-stories. I know fans are missing out here, and a remaster could clean up that nasty frame rate, but the game is stained by its reputation, so you gotta pay up. You gotta pay up $100 if you want to play this fucker. Ryuga Gotoku Kenzan. This is the first Like a Dragon game on PS3, using new technology that would later be utilized in Like a Dragon 3, and some technology that would never be used again. This is one of my favorite games in the series, and it's not just because it's exotic, unique, Japan exclusive. I did nearly everything in this fucking game. If you want to play this, use the guide by Egomaniac. That's the only one you should use, I promise. There's gonna be a remaster of it though, they just haven't said anything about it yet, publicly. I hope they release a remake of it. Face with hand over mouth. You know what face with hand over mouth means. Well, that's about it for my favorite games on the PlayStation 3 Total Entertainment System Complete Edition. This second half was very fucking Japanese, but that's what I like the most nowadays. I used to love Uncharted and other games for normal people, but now most of Sony's games are cinematic movie Hollywood gunk that want to tell their epic story, but they forgot to make a video game. Anyway, what do you think? What are your favorite games? Did you hate every game on my list? Did you like them? If you like my style, consider subscribing so I don't get deleted from your algorithm forever.